Good day. I am Sophia and I am here to present to you my group's model of communication. But before our presentation, let's define communication. The word communication comes from the Latin words communis and communicare. While communis means to make common, communicare means to make common to many or to share. The origin of the communication process comes from the model of Aristotle. Here it shows ethos, logos, and pathos. Ethos takes into account the speaker's confidence in delivery and personal branding, while logos takes into account the structure of speech, use of analogies, comparisons, and metaphors. Lastly, pathos is the emotional impact and values on the audience. This model was later on used as a basis for many models of communication. Now, communication can be defined variously by many. For us, however, we define communication as a process of understanding one another's behavior, thoughts, and ideas through the use of verbal and nonverbal language. And now, we present to you our 21st century model of communication. The elements in our communication model includes a source, receiver, noise, channel, message, and feedback. The process first starts with the source who encodes the message or action. The message is then transferred through a channel, which can be received or not by the recipient. The message is then decoded by the receiver who interprets the encoded message. The message is either achieved or not achieved. If the message is achieved by the receiver then gives the feedback to the source and the roles are then reversed. The message that is achieved is called positive feedback. If the message is not achieved, this can lead to miscommunication, which is known as negative feedback. Throughout this entire process, there are barriers of communication called noise. Noise can be psychological, sociological, physical, and semantic. Although our model of communication may seem like any other, it is actually different. In our model of communication, the source and receiver must have background information about the 21st century concepts and themes, such as global and environmental awareness, financial, civic, and health literacy. In our model of communication, the messages to be conveyed by the speaker are generally text messages, videos, images, voice messages, and etc. The channels used in this type of model are usually any forms of technology that allows you to communicate through, like smartphones, laptops, computers, telephones, and many more. Here's a concrete example of our communication process. In our example, we are looking at an online meeting being conducted by an environmental institution. During the said meeting, one of the speakers is discussing a certain environmental issue that must be mitigated. Due to this being an online meeting, the process of communication can go one in two ways. The first scenario would be the speaker would be able to properly and clearly convey his message to all the participants of the meeting. Alongside this, all the participants of the meeting would have clearly understood the message of the speaker, thus making this process of communication complete. In the second situation, the speaker fails to deliver his message properly to the participants of the meeting. With this, the participants have misunderstood or even not pick up the message of the speaker at all. This could be due to the different noises that are present while the process of communication was happening. Multiple different noises can be present during the communication process, which would cause the communication to fail. One of these noises may include the weak internet connection, which could affect the flow of the communication greatly since the meeting was conducted online. Communication is a part of our daily lives and is unavoidable. We communicate in order to inform, to express, to imagine, to influence, and meet social expectations. When communication is effective, we are able to grasp on issues, topics, formulate our own ideas, and learn more from one another. Through communication, we are able to form connections, bonds, and relationships with others.